Government has also acted. There was a big violence in Delhi. How do you see things? What is your outlook on that?
Well, my outlook is very clear that this is completely something that no Indian can be proud of. The Red Fort is a symbol of our independence. This was the capital of the Mughals. It was the capital of the British, and we took that. Our own freedom fighters, led by Gandhiji, eventually the Indian flag was raised there on the 17th of August in 1947, and it was always the symbol of Indian democracy. And it was a very sad day when I saw this happening.
And how do you see these clashes between the police and the farmers? Do you see?
Should not have been, because let me tell you that the farmers had made it absolutely clear that we do not believe in violence. And I don't believe that they were involved in this. I think it was people who had infiltrated this movement. There are plenty of people. We are sitting on the border here, and I keep reporting back, and they know in Delhi jolly well what exactly is happening on our border. So it is somebody has now, it's for them to investigate and see who has entered that and who has done this. And the government better be on its toes. I have been warning them for a long time that Pakistan is trying to infiltrate. Their weapons are coming in. They've got sleeper cells here which they can awaken anytime they wish, and you better be clear. And a disturbed Punjab suits Pakistan's policies.
So, sir, can you throw some more light? You shared with the government. Did you give any?
I went during this period to see the Home Minister, not this period, but before this, when everybody started making a big noise of I've been to see around the farmer struggle. I went to discuss this issue which is taking place, because since the farmer struggle started in October, the number of weaponry that's coming into Punjab has trebled. It's drones that are bringing it in, and that was what was concerning me, because those drones, when they bring weapons, they're meant for something. They're not sent as a present here. They are meant for, we may capture 30 drones, but there are many 20 or 30 that get past us to their objectives, wherever they are. And that is what was concerning me. So that is what I went to discuss with the Home Minister then. And I'm sure they're have taken note of it, and they will be doing something. They better do something.
So do you think this movement has been discredited because of these actions?
Yes, I think so. Because anybody, the whole world, members of parliament in Great Britain, from America, from across the globe, in India, all states were supporting farmers. The moment violence came, and the moment that symbol of the Red Fort was violated, I think that's when this movement lost steam.
But, sir, we are seeing another narrative which is in the making, that farmers, there are many pro-Khalistan elements among the farmers. And some people are even calling them traitors. We saw an incident today at the border where other people from outside have said that these guys are traitors, they should leave the place. How do you see these?
Well, that is exactly what I have been saying. This is what Pakistan wants to do. Now, I don't say that they're Khalistanis. You know, this business of somebody is a Khalistani and somebody is a Naxal and somebody is an urban Naxal, these are all names that just people conjure up, and somehow the press pick these issues up. There are people with different ideologies, yes. I mean, you may have leftist ideology. For instance, southern Punjab has always had a leftist ideology from the days of the freedom struggle. Even when there was there was a big movement by the Muzara movement, we called it, and the Naxal movement started there. These things happen. That is part of history. But to today say that these guys are urban Naxals or this I think was unnecessary.
So now what is your suggestion? Like, what do you think will be the next move?
I think the government should and continue its contact with the farmers. Farmers must go to meetings, and this has to be resolved. This cannot carry on this way. Look, my sympathy is totally, as far as the farmers are concerned, with them. I always believe that what they did was right. That is why the moment these bills were passed, we were not consulted for those bills. When the bills were passed, we were the first ones to call the Punjab Assembly, and under 254(2), we passed our own laws, and which we negated their laws and passed our own laws, which is still sitting with the governor. He hasn't even forwarded it to Delhi. So the point is that I understand the problems of the farmers. We are a farming state. 70% of our people live off farming, and they are very small farmers. These people who are sitting there are not there just for the sake of going there. They know what their situation is. Somebody owns half an acre, somebody owns 1 acre, 2 acres. If suddenly you do away with MSP, what do they know is going to be their resource for the year? Similarly, you have an RTR system which is going on. Why are you wanting to stop this? Why do you want to stop MSP? Why do you want to do away with the Food Corporation of India, who supports that MSP? All these are things which have contributed. If you want to let corporate houses come in, who is stopping the corporate houses from coming? They are already working in Punjab. I've got Nestle's working here. I've got ITC working here. I've got Pepsi working here. They are also foreign companies. Nobody minds that because it only complements what is happening. In case if somebody wants to come and put up a corporate in the food industry, how will it help us? It will help us because there will be competition and the prices the farmers will get will be better, provided you don't do away with the old system. Have the old system and let the new system complement it.
Coming back to the farmer stir, sir, BJP has alleged that Congress is behind it. And in fact, they have...
No, they said I was behind it. This is what these chaps were saying. So they said it from day one. I mean, I told them, I said, I find it so strange because one of the ministers who called me and he said, if you want to stop it, you can stop it in 3 minutes. I said, yeah. I said, you got 4 intelligence agencies that are they sleeping there? They don't know what's happening in Punjab. If they don't know what's happening in Punjab, how are they going to control the infiltration from Pakistan? And today now they have realized that it's not anybody's doings. It is a movement which has been generated on its own.
Do you blame the mishandling of central government in this entire scenario?
I think they did not understand the psyche of the Punjabi and the farmer. And this is not, Punjabi may have taken lead, we always seem to take the lead in various things, but this covers the farmers of the country. 70% of our people live in farms. You think it's not affecting a person a farmer in Kerala or in Andhra Pradesh or in Tamil Nadu or in Odisha or Tripura somewhere? Everywhere the farmer is affected. He may not be here because he can't afford it, but his heart is here in Delhi.
But sir, do you think that police would have handled it better, or when we saw...
Why did you need a police? Why do you need a police? You don't need the police for these things. These are things that should be resolved by negotiations. And if they had 12 meetings you have had, in the beginning I thought it was an issue that had I been there and had I been chairing that meeting, I would have finished in the first day. Why are you prolonging? What are you prolonging it for? I have been through lots of problems. This is my 52nd year in politics, okay? The first I've been through is when the movement of the Khalistan movement started with Sant Pindrawale and all that, and then the Anandpur Sahib resolution came up and all this terrorism took place, which ended up in 84 in Blue Star. After that, then there was another rise of terrorism, which ended up with the assassination of our chief minister. So I've seen these things happening. It's always things are decided in Delhi on a question of too little, too late, and that is what is.
Are you squarely blaming Pakistan mainly?
No, I'm not. It's not for me to blame Pakistan or to blame anybody. It is for these agencies who blame Amrinder Singh to find out who the hell is behind this and what is happening there. They are the ones who should go there and find out what have we got for, what have we got the IB for, what have we got the RAW for, what have we got the NIA for. That's their job, to keep their pulse on the security of the nation. Find out who's doing it. Is it Pakistan? Is it their sleeping cells? But what I'm mentioning is the fact that since October, when this movement started, why has there been a spurt in the drone delivery? Why weapons are coming in, why money is coming, why heroin is coming, and all these are coming on through these. Now, that coincides with the movement, and that is what's got me wondering what is the reason for this happening.
Sir, all the parties, many of the opposition parties are now clubbing together and boycotting the president. Today they boycotted the president's speech, and they are saying that it's all the handiwork of BJP. What is your take on this?
I cannot comment. I'm not going to comment on who's commented. These are not things these are very serious matters regarding the nation, and it is for the investigation, and I hope it's going to be a fair investigation. And whether it's necessary to put up a very top committee, which people will have confidence in their decision to decide why it happened and what is behind it.
But did you consult anybody after the violence?
But let me now when we are still on the first question, this one thing you must understand: the government and the power must take the responsibility, and I think government in power is the BJP. And they must bear up to this responsibility. Why is it that you could not understand this movement? Why is it that you think it's Amrinder Singh doing it? Why can't you think that it's a movement of the farmers themselves all over the country? Now that is a lack of information which has been given to them, or a lack of understanding. I don't know.
At the border, like recently in the Singhu border, there was a local protest against the farmers. They are calling them traitors or gaddars, and they are asking them to go away from there.
Because I can't believe that people who have been living together for 60 days now in that same place, the locals and the people from the farming community from Haryana and Punjab elsewhere, who have gone there, people will suddenly turn like this. I don't believe that the people are. I tend to believe that maybe to do down this movement, maybe people have been brought from some other parts and put there and shown as locals. That is a possibility. And therefore I think that when your channels come out with this news and other journalists go there, they must go into these facts before they put out news, because false news can do us a lot of damage. I am a border state. I have a hostile country on my western borders. On north of us we've got China, which is all the time, and these two countries are going to collude. And 20% of the Indian army belongs to this area, and we can't allow their morale to go down. So I think we should be very careful in our choice of putting out news, which should not create a situation where the morale of our troops goes down.
Coming to a political part of, I want to talk about Congress party. Sir, party is still not having a president.
We've got a president, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi.
New elections is not taking place.
Well, that I think there's a reason for it, and that reason is a very valid reason, because you've got five states going to the polls, and those polls will end, I think, by the end of June. So in July it will come up. And there's a process, there's a procedure. It's a very old party, it's 135 years old, so there's a system that works, and let it go by the system.
We saw some top leaders writing to the president about their displeasure over scheme of things going on in the party. Do you think who will be the apt candidate, sir? What do you think is the apt candidate?
It is not for me to say. It is for the AICC when the AICC meets to choose a president. And I'm sure it's been chosen over the last century very successfully, and I'm sure that there will be a good successful choice this time also.
Thank you. आप किस तरह से देखते हैं इस वायलेंस को, सर, जो किसानों और पुलिस के बीच में भिड़ंत हुई है? देखिए,
ये बात तो होनी भी नहीं चाहिए थी, बिकॉज ये बात बहुत देर से चल रही है. पहले मेरे पंजाब में 60 दिन के करीब रेलवे लाइंस बंद रहीं, इंडस्ट्री बंद रहीं. आज भी 123 जगह में हमारे पंजाब में किसान बैठे हैं, पेट्रोल पंप्स पे, टोल प्लाजाज पे, किसी मल्टीप्लेक्सेस में, सब कुछ उनको चलने नहीं दे रहे. और आज भी एक ग्रुप बैठा है जंडियाला गुरु में ऑन द रेलवे लाइन. वो अमृतसर की लाइन नहीं चल रही हो, वाया तरन तारण जा रही हैं ट्रेन्स. सो ये बातें तो यहाँ हो रही हैं. वी आर टॉलरेटिंग इट. हमारा नुकसान हो रहा है ज़रूर, बट इसका इंडिकेशन होना चाहिए था दिल्ली को कि जो किसान अब आ गए, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू आराम से नहीं उठेंगे. उनसे आप बातचीत करके उनका कोई हल निकालो. एंड वो आई थिंक उन्होंने इतनी जो मीटिंग्स की हैं, 12 मीटिंग्स हो गई, इस बात को पहले ही ख़त्म करना चाहिए था. आपको लगता है कहीं बाहर का भी इसमें हाथ, आपने जैसे मेंशन किया? हो सकता है क्योंकि जो हमारा साथ वाला मुल्क है तो हम छेड़छाड़ करता ही रहता है. अब देखो, जिस दिन मैं होम मिनिस्टर को मिलने गया था आज से 2 महीने पहले, ये किसान मूवमेंट शुरू हो गई थी. लोगों ने कहा अमरिंदर सिंह जा रहा है उधर, उनको मिलने जा रहा है कि ये किसान मूवमेंट के. किसान की कोई बात ही नहीं थी उस दिन बात हमारी हुई थी यही कि अक्टूबर से किसान मूवमेंट पंजाब में शुरू हुई, और अक्टूबर से हमारी जो इनफ्लो ऑफ ड्रोन्स हैं वो बढ़ने लग गए, और उसमें हथियार जो आ रहे हैं, वो जो सब कुछ वो फेंका गया उधर से पाकिस्तान से, उसका कोई कारण होगा. व्हाट इज़ दैट कारण? जब आप हथियार भेजते हो, हेरोइन भेजते हो, फॉल्स करेंसी भेजते हो, कोई कारण ही है। तो यही मैं डिस्कस करने जा रहा था कि इस बातों को हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या कारण है, व्हाट इज़ पाकिस्तान इंटरेस्ट। पाकिस्तान ऑलवेज उनके स्लीपर सेल्स हैं नॉर्थ में, आईबी को, हमारी इंटेलिजेंस को, सबको मालूम है कि यहाँ चल रहे हैं, और ये हथियार जो भेजे गए हैं उनके लिए भेजे गए हैं। एंड दैट इज़ समथिंग दैट वी मस्ट, ये बात हमें देखनी चाहिए थी। एंड दैट इज़ वाई मैं होम मिनिस्टर को जाके उनको कहा कि ये हमें रखनी पड़ेगी। देखिए इम्पोर्टेंट है, आज पाकिस्तान और चाइना आर गोइंग टू कलूजन होगी उनकी, किसी भी लड़ाई में वो कलूट करेंगे, क्योंकि चाइनीज़ इकनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया पाकिस्तान के अंदर, और उन्होंने ग्वादर पोर्ट उनको दे दिया। अगर बाई चांस इंडियन नेवी और हमारे एलाइज जो होंगे, हमने कराची और ग्वादर वगैरह को ब्लॉकेड कर दिया, तो अब क्या बना रहे हैं वो, अंडर द काराकोरम रेंज एक रेलवे लाइन ले आ रहे हैं, विच विल लिंक अप विद द काराकोरम हाईवे एंड गो सो दे कैन कीप वन रूट ओपन। तो ये सारी बातें तो लॉन्ग टर्म उनकी इतनी लॉन्ग टर्म नहीं जितनी लोग सोचते हैं, बिकॉज दे आर टुडे, चाइना ने आर्मामेंट्स बहुत बढ़ा ली अपनी बिल्डअप। वो तो ऐसी बात कर रहे हैं कि अगले 10 साल में हम अमेरिका से ज़्यादा आगे निकल जाएंगे। तो जब ये दोनों मुल्क इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे, दिस इज़ अ वरी फॉर इंडिया। और हमारे लिए तो बहुत ज़रूरी बात है कि पंजाब को स्टेबल रखो। वी आर अ बॉर्डर स्टेट, एंड हमारे 20% पंजाबी आज हिंदुस्तान की फ़ौज और डिफेंस सर्विसेज के हिस्से हैं। सो हमने ये शांति लानी है। वी हैव टू ब्रिंग द एग्रीकल्चर, ये जो इशू है इसको हमें ख़त्म करना पड़ेगा जितनी जल्दी हो सकता है, और ताकि हमारे ट्रूप्स का मोराल भी हाई रहे।
सर, बीजेपी या सरकार का ये भी इल्ज़ाम है कि कहीं ना कहीं कांग्रेस और आपका भी नाम उन्होंने लगाया है कि आप लोग इसके पीछे हैं।
नहीं, कांग्रेस का नहीं, उनका नाम मेरे पे लगाया, अमरिंदर सिंह ने किया है। अगर अमरिंदर सिंह ने हरियाणा में भी करवा दिया तो फिर निकलो भैया हरियाणा जाओ, हम वापस दे दो, हम वाला हरियाणा ही संभाल लेंगे उसको। वर्ड ये तो दिस इज़ द ट्रैजिक पार्ट कि आज आप इंस्टेड ऑफ गोइंग इन टू के इसमें बात क्या हुई, क्यों इतना किसानों के दिल में इतनी उनको दर्द है। अब देखिए, पंजाब चलो आगे लगाया हुआ है, कोई डाउट नहीं, हमारे लोग बहुत गए हुए हैं यहाँ से। हरियाणा के भी किसान हैं, उत्तराखंड के भी किसान हैं, वेस्ट यूपी के भी किसान बैठे हैं, राजस्थान के भी बैठे हैं, और जहाँ नहीं बैठे बहुत दूर हैं, बेचारे गरीब लोग हैं, कोई त्रिपुरा से नहीं आ सकता, केरला तमिलनाडु से नहीं आ सकता, लेकिन हर किसान का दिल आज दिल्ली में है, बिकॉज वो समझते हैं कि जो बातें हुई हैं, ये जो कानून बने हैं बिल्कुल गलत कानून बने हैं। सो आई थिंक ये समथिंग अब गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को सोचना पड़ेगा और इस बात को ख़त्म करना पड़ेगा।
सर, हमने कई वाक़यात देखे, जैसे दिल्ली में सिंघू बॉर्डर पे, और पीछे भी हमने देखा कि लोकल्स उतर आए प्रोटेस्ट में कि इन 26 के बाद ये इंसिडेंट हुआ, इन फार्मर्स को यहाँ से हटाओ, ये लोग गद्दार हैं, इस तरह की नारेबाजी हुई। इस तरह के इंसिडेंट्स को आप किस तरह से देखते हैं? देखिए,
ये जो लोग उठे हैं, पहले तो पता तो करो, आपको टेलीविज़न वाले जाने चाहिए और जो न्यूज़पेपर वाले सब जाने चाहिए देखो को कि वहाँ के भी हैं या कोई बाहर से इंपोर्ट किए हुए हैं लोग। ये क्या मालूम है कहाँ से आए हुए हैं और क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है इसका। तो ये बातें नहीं मैं बिलीव करने के इतनी। देखिए, वो जो किसान हैं हरियाणा के भी, वही किसान है, वही प्रॉब्लम है, वही कानून है, उनको क्या तकलीफ़ हो रही है। आई डोंट थिंक के लोकल कोई ऐसा उठा है। ये तो मेरा ख्याल इंपोर्ट किए हुए हैं लोग हैं, इन्होंने अपना कोई इशू बनाने के लिए। और इसमें मैं कह रहा हूँ, आज जो रिपोर्टिंग हो रही है इसको दिखाई जा रही है कि लोकल उठ रहे हैं। पहले इन्वेस्टिगेट तो कर लो भाई। आप किसी को चोर कह देते हो विदाउट इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग, व्हाट इज़ दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ बिजनेस। ये गवर्नमेंट को नहीं करनी चाहिए थी ये बातें। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया मस्ट इन्वेस्टिगेट कि क्यों हुआ, क्या हो रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है। ऐसे ही नहीं कि टेलीविज़न उठा के बातें करते रहें।
सर, खालिस्तानी एलिमेंट्स की होने की बात करते हैं लोग, उसको आप कैसे देखते हैं?
देखिए, कभी किसी को खालिस्तानी बना देते हैं, कभी माओइस्ट बना देते हैं, कभी नक्सल बना देते हैं। ये तो कहने की बातें हैं, विच इज़ वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट। एक किसान है हमारे देखो, मेरे अबाउट रफली 75% मेरे किसान पंजाब के, उनको 5 एकड़ से कम उनकी ज़मीन है। ये जो बैठे हैं बॉर्डर्स पे, ये अपने लिए नहीं बैठे। उनको देखो, सब सफ़ेद दाढ़ी वाले हैं सब। ये बेचारे, ये उनको मालूम है कि हम तो 1 साल 2 साल 3 साल की हमारी है, हमने तो चले जाना है। वो बैठे क्यों हैं? अपने बच्चों के लिए, अपनी फ्यूचर जनरेशन्स के लिए बैठे हैं कि अगर हमारी कोई ख़रीद आधे रेट पे हो जाएगी। अब मैं बताता हूँ आपको, जिस दिन ये बहस चल रही थी हमारी पंजाब असेंबली में, एक एमएलए ने होशियारपुर के एमएलए उठ के कहा कि आज सुबह मंडी में मक्की की 1800 रुपये क्विंटल हमारी एमएसपी है, लेकिन उस दिन होशियारपुर की मंडी में 600 रुपये पे बिकी थी। ना अगर ये होने लग जाए गेहूं और चावल के लिए और आधा उनको इनकम हो जाए तो फिर वो कैसे गुजारा करेंगे अपना, जिसका आधा एकड़ है या 1 एकड़ है 2 एकड़ है। ये बातें हैं जो उनको चुभ रही हैं कि हमारे बच्चों ग्रैंड पड़पोतों को क्या होगा।
सर अब आपको आगे का एक्शन क्या दिखता है? किसानों को आपका क्या सजेशन है?
मेरा तो सजेशन दोनों को है, किसानों को, किसान जाके अपने गवर्नमेंट उनको अगर बुलाएगी आप जाओ और अपनी बात को ख़त्म करो, ये लंबा नहीं चल सकता। और गवर्नमेंट को मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप मीटिंग रखवाओ और किसानों को बैठा के इसको अब एक प्यार से बात करो, एक दूसरे को दुश्मन समझ के मत बात करो।
तो नहीं सर, मीटिंग्स तो कई हो गई, आपने देखा स्टेलमेट है इसमें। तो
ये स्टेलमेट क्यों करें? अगर मुझे उठाते ना और मुझे चेयरमैन बनाते, एक दिन में ख़त्म कर देता है ये बात को। जब ये व्हेन आई कांट अंडरस्टैंड, लंबा किस वास्ते आप लेकर जा रहे हो उसमें। दिस इज़ नॉट अ थिंग टू प्रोलॉन्ग। जितना प्रोलॉन्ग होगा, मैं तो 52 ईयर्स हो गए मुझे पॉलिटिक्स में, मैंने बहुत कुछ देखा है पंजाब में। आपको जब मालूम है जब ये टेररिस्ट पीरियड हुआ था, कितनी हमारी लोग मरे यहाँ, 36,000 मरे इधर पंजाब में, खून इस पंजाब में चला था। और ये सब ज़माना मैंने देखा है। जितना आप डिले करोगे इतना मुश्किल होगा आपको। अभी मन बनाओ, गवर्नमेंट भी बनाए मन, किसान भी बनाओ, बैठो और ख़त्म करो।